Hungary's clash with the European Union has reached a boiling point, as the EU has taken the unprecedented step of suspending access to over €1 billion in funding for the country. This move comes after Budapest failed to meet the bloc's demands on combating corruption and ensuring rule of law reforms. For the first time in EU history, Brussels has enforced such a measure, signaling a significant turning point in the long-standing tensions between Hungary's nationalist government and the European Commission. Hungary has been under EU scrutiny since 2022, when Brussels launched conditionality proceedings, citing concerns over public procurement irregularities and a lack of transparency. The European Commission found that Hungary was disregarding fundamental EU standards, particularly in areas such as corruption, political financing, and media independence. Despite agreeing to undertake some reforms, Hungary's government has not fully complied, and as a result, a substantial €19 billion in EU aid remains frozen. The €1 billion payment that Hungary has lost is a direct consequence of these breaches as part of the EU's strict conditionality regulation. The suspended funding, which was initially earmarked to support Hungary's economy and development, is now expired. This marks a pivotal moment in Hungary's relationship with the European Union, and the country's refusal to make sufficient reforms has led to this historic action. Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who has held power in Hungary since 2010, has become a key figure in Europe's political landscape, aligning Hungary with the likes of US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. His government has long resisted EU pressure on issues like corruption, media freedom, and judicial independence, often framing the EU's demands as an infringement on Hungary's sovereignty. Orban has repeatedly vowed to protect what he describes as Hungary's rightful share of EU funds, insisting that the money belongs to the Hungarian people, not Brussels. The billions that the European Union owes us will be brought home, Orban declared, echoing his defiant stance in the face of EU criticism. His remarks highlight the deepening rift between Hungary and the EU, with the Hungarian leader positioning himself as a defender of national interests against what he sees as foreign interference. The European Commission's most recent report, published in July, further criticized Hungary's failure to meet EU democratic standards. It pointed to ongoing issues with political financing, conflicts of interest, and the erosion of media independence, marking a sharp deterioration in Hungary's relationship with Brussels. These concerns have compounded the situation as Hungary faces continued scrutiny from the EU over its governance. The dispute also ties back to Hungary's ongoing conflict with the EU's Article 7 procedure, which was initiated in 2018 due to serious violations of the rule of law. This procedure could, in theory, lead to sanctions, including the suspension of Hungary's voting rights in the EU Council. Though the process has yet to result in such extreme measures, it remains a looming threat that underscores the escalating tensions between Hungary and the European Union.